What exactly happens when you compare yourself to someone else? Do you recognize that feeling that sometimes starts quietly in your mind but gradually grows? When you see someone's success, their life, or even just a single photo, a subtle tightness forms inside you. And most of the time, we simply label this as a feeling of not being enough and move on. But in reality, it goes much deeper than you think. The moment you start seeing other people's lives as a measure of your own worth, you begin to suffer. Because if you constantly look for what is right in what others are doing, what you do will never feel enough. Your mind slowly starts telling you what's outside is always right. But the truth is this: every person's inner world is as unique as a fingerprint. A path that works for someone else might feel completely restrictive to your own soul. Instead of discovering your own potential through comparison, we end up trying to build our lives according to someone else's standards. Every stage of life has its own developmental tasks, but you should do these because you need them, not because others have done it. What makes you you is your uniqueness, and I wouldn't want you to sacrifice that uniqueness to someone else's standards. If this topic has already created some awareness for you, don't forget to like the video. This helps me understand what resonates with you so I can shape my content accordingly. Now let's move to the scientific side. What's actually happening in the brain? Our brain is wired for social comparison, and during this process, a very critical region becomes active, the anterior cingulate cortex. This area doesn't just regulate emotional processes, it is also directly linked to physical pain. Here's the striking part. When your brain feels that you're falling behind socially, it doesn't interpret this as just a psychological state. It reads it as a physical threat, almost like a real injury. That's why the discomfort you feel during comparison is not just in your head. It is a real signal from your nervous system indicating danger. And the modern world constantly exposes us to content that triggers this signal. When you see the most curated, filtered moments of other people's lives, your brain interprets this manipulated data as objective reality. And a cycle begins. Comparison, feelings of inadequacy, and more comparison. So how do you break this cycle? The moment you become aware of it. When you start telling yourself, right now, I am comparing myself, and this is an automatic response of my brain. This sentence may seem simple, but it pulls you out of that destructive thought. You are no longer trapped inside the feeling, you become the observer. Remember this: everyone's path, opportunities, and experiences are different. Instead of trying to understand the inside of a display window you see from the outside, you can focus on becoming the architect of your own life. If what I've described feels familiar, know that you are not alone. This is not a weakness, it's how the brain works. Most people feel this but are afraid to express it. The things that make you wonder, is something wrong with me, are actually deeply human. Training your mind is a journey, and it requires consistency. On this channel, I share methods every day to help you build that consistency. If you'd like to reshape your mind together, you can join us and subscribe. Wishing you progress on your own path, at your own pace.